change, my dear, and it seems not a moment too soon. Shout out to anyone who got that Colin Baker Doctor Who reference right there. I appreciate you. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid, and today we are talking about the only wrestling news that is worth talking about in this time period, and that is Vince McMahon announcing his retirement from WWE. Now, this is something that was speculated on a lot when the Wall Street Journal allegations came up. Maybe he'd take a full step away from WWE and running the corporation, running the company. And it actually happened. After 40 years with WWE, Vince is gone. It is monumental, to say the least. It is one of the biggest wrestling stories that I have ever lived to witness, and is something I never thought would ever happen, would ever actually happen. So let's read the tweet. The tweet simply read, at 77, time for me to retire. Thank you, WWE Universe. Then, now, forever together. Simple way, simply put, and then there was a big, longer quote as a press release from WWE. It just feels surreal because he has been someone who is so instrumental with a lot of people's childhood. A lot of people have memories from the Attitude Era. My actual main memories of Vince McMahon in sort of the heyday that I was loving professional wrestling was Ruthless Aggression Era, 2006, and the feud with DX, which is pretty much very maligned at the moment. You know, he got his head, I think it was him, or was it Shane? One of them got their head thrown into the Big Show's bottom in Hell in a Cell. There was the really weird squash, sort of masochistic match at WrestleMania 22 between Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon. You know, for what an awful person he is. You know, he built the empire. He has his legacy cemented. His legacy is probably tainted by everything that's come out. But he's gone. And the question is, what's next? And that is the biggest, most tantalising question to be asked, because this is simply a domino effect. Vince is gone, okay? His web is dissolving, which means all the people in that place might not be there anymore. Your Bruce Pritchards, your Kevin Dunns, they might go with their leader, with their, you know, their CEO. They might not want to work under Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan. They might not want to work under Triple H or with Triple H. So just those, every little piece sort of falling and crumbling. It's like a tower of cards. And what will remain standing? Who in that sort of corporate chain will still be there when the dust settles? And that is so interesting, because for so long we have seen WWE through one man's vision. We have seen the awful comedy, the fart jokes, the laughing at little people, the nonsense top guy stuff with Roman. Whereas there's another vision for WWE. There is a reality, there is an upside down where WWE is not ran like that. It's run like a wrestling promotion. It's not churning out boring matches and stale feuds, and that's the one word that can describe WWE right now, and that is stale. It is in a holding pattern, seemingly for eternity. So to see that shaken up gives me hope for WWE and everything that comes with it. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be an overnight change. There's going to be potentially years until we actually see the full ramifications of Vince leaving. But I think just in general, this is a good change. It's been the same thing for decades. Literal decades. It has been the same. Same production, the same crew, same head, the same storyteller. And if you are telling stories No matter how many characters you have, if you're telling stories for that long, you're going to tell a lot of the same stories, just with different characters. And the one thing that I'm holding on to, right? The one piece of this, flashback to, I think, 2019, when everyone was stuck in Saudi Arabia. And we got the NXT Invasion show, which I believe it was reported was primarily run by Triple H. One of the best pieces of WWE in years. And that's what I want. Selfishly, I want as fans. As a fan. I want good wrestling, consistent characters, good finishes, and not to be treated like an idiot, which is a lot of the times how I feel. I don't want to see Otis throwing up. I don't want to see lumbering giants, because the art form itself has moved on. It's not that anymore, and they can try and distance themselves as much as they want from wrestling, and we don't talk about wrestling, we don't say wrestlers. Wrestling is in the name. WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. It's in the name. So go back to the drawing board. This is your opportunity to hit the reset button on WWE and change it completely. Can you imagine? And I'm not going to get into that. No, I'm not going to say if AEW did this. But can you just imagine Riddle and Seth Rollins being given 20 minutes in a main event? It'd be great. Can you imagine Randy Orton versus, I don't know, pick someone off the top of my head, Chad Gable, maybe elevating new people and just having these long form matches with decisive finishes? It's just so frustrating that it's been like this for so long, and this feels like you're being released potentially. And I don't want to get too excited because it could very well break my heart, but I'm excited to see just WWE be good again potentially. And that might be damning to say, but I just want that. I just want WWE to be good. I don't want to feel embarrassed when I turn on WWE TV or a pay-per-view and they're having a pizza battle royal, and if I'm watching it with someone, I have to explain what is going on and why it's terrible. I don't want to keep doing that. I want to love this. We all want to love WWE. And despite the obvious awful Saudi Arabia deal and stuff like that, all that stuff, base level storytelling and characters. We just want good stories and good characters. And everything's so played out at the moment in WWE. Hit the reset button and let us have this. Let us have this refresher for WWE. That is my video. More of a plea. My thoughts on Vince leaving, it was sort of inevitable. We knew it was happening one day. It's just monumental that it happened sort of via Twitter and a tweet. But yeah, more optimism. I'm more optimistic now about the WWE product than I was ever before, because I know what I like and everything is in place to give me what I like, selfishly. But yeah, I'm excited. Cautiously excited. I want to know how you feel about all this. Let me know down in the comments below and I will try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support and have a nice day.